A girl, starving for days, caught a small fish, but instead of eating it, she crushed it and released it back into the sea. She quickly sharpened a stick into a spear and stood in the water, seemingly waiting for a bigger catch. Unexpectedly, the strong smell of blood attracted a shark. However, she showed no fear and, seizing the moment, stabbed the shark with her spear, bringing her food supply for several days. After returning to shore, she resisted the urge to feast on the shark. That night, she hung the shark up and hid in a sandpit to observe. Exhausted from fishing all day, she fell asleep. The next morning, she woke to find the shark had mysteriously vanished, leaving only a piece of rope swaying in the wind. Searching for it, she found only half of the shark's body and noticed terrifying claw marks on her own skin, indicating that more dangerous creatures lurked on the island. On her way back to camp, she stumbled upon something shocking. Her companion's body had disappeared, leaving only a pool of blood. As night approached, she hurriedly sharpened another stick for defense. Suddenly, she saw a figure emerging from the water. It was her companion's body again, but now just half of it. Instead of burying it, she hung it up like the shark. That night, while hiding in her pit again to uncover the identity of this mysterious creature, she heard helicopter sounds above. Hope surged within her as she prepared to signal for help, but had to silence herself when noticing a woman carefully entering her sleeping spot, a tree hole. As she dozed off again, distant airplane noises stirred her awake. She launched a flare but saw no plane arrive, only strange shapes on the water. She quickly hid in the trees as heavy footsteps approached. After another restless night, she prepared a makeshift boat with a suitcase, but found it too small to support her weight when trying to escape into the sea. Frustrated, she sought refuge in a tree hole as animal roars echoed outside. The next day, while scouting around the deserted island with her spear, she discovered a large cave emitting odd sounds. Perhaps that creature was hiding inside. Gaining courage, she approached but found only a silly bird inside, yet signs indicated that the terrifying monster was still on the island. She gathered scraps of cloth and fashioned them into a makeshift sleeping bag to protect herself at night. When awakened by strange calls during the night, she noticed nothing unusual at first, but soon heard low growls from outside. She prayed that the monster wouldn't find her, and thankfully it moved away. To learn more about this creature, she hung her companion's remains on a tree as bait and hid nearby to watch closely. This time she stayed alert and suddenly saw a mysterious monster devour the bait without making any noise herself. Just then, airplane noises resumed. Excitedly thinking of rescue, she prepared to call out for help, but froze when the monster appeared before her. The next day brought unexpected hope, as a lifeboat floated towards her from a shipwreck. Her lost boyfriend and best friend were aboard. However, they were reluctant to leave this newfound land despite her warnings about monsters at night. After an argument with them about their safety and their refusal to heed her warnings about nighttime dangers, she secretly packed supplies into their lifeboat and attempted to escape alone. But just as she was about to leave, her friend spotted her and they rushed over. In an attempt to break free from their grasp, she kicked one friend away but angered the other, who retaliated violently. Soon after regaining consciousness tied up in trees while they argued nearby about what was happening outside, suddenly screams echoed from the beach as one friend encountered the monster. The boyfriend rushed in with a torch, but was easily overpowered by the creature, which dragged his friend into deep waters. Terrified and alone once more at dawn after hiding through another night from danger, they decided to push their boat into the sea and escape together. However, while preparing to leave orderly and efficiently with clear roles assigned between them both, an unknown object swam by them, prompting an investigation, which led to another attack from the monster. In desperation during chaos when dragged underwater herself by this creature while trying to save her boyfriend, she stabbed it with a knife, forcing it to release her, but could only watch helplessly as he was taken into its depths. Returning ashore alone, now determined since escape seemed impossible, readying herself for battle against this monster, she prepared firewood and crafted weapons while waiting for nightfall when it would return again. When darkness fell and it appeared as expected, using fire to keep it at bay while striking with her spear, She finally defeated it after suffering injuries herself, but knew now that even though victorious, survival on this island remained uncertain without help or escape routes available. In truth, however, this entire ordeal was merely imagined. Her boyfriend and friend never existed on that island. They had perished long ago, leaving only her alone amidst haunting memories of survival, as reality blurred between fantasy and despair, until ultimately rescued later on by others who wished to hear her story about what transpired on that cursed island where monsters roamed free.